you think first that they're not trying to be malicious, you're less likely to jump down their throats. It's like they don't know any better, or this is stemming from something. So you either way, you have to be empathetic. They're stupid, and you can teach them something, or something really messed up happened to them, and that's why it kind of twisted their point of view on this.
Right.
So you can do one of two things. You can leave them in that space and say, "This is not for me to solve," or you can have a moment where you're learning and diving deeper, but from a positive perspective. That woman right there had some stuff that happened to her where she was either grew up in scarcity,
Right.
or had been, abused and deprived or whatever. Probably didn't care enough because, to find out what that is. But if you approach it that way, you're less likely to jump down somebody's throat.
You just know that she just came from something toxic in her life, and that's what it was like in a relationship with her. And she was okay looking. She was, attractive,
But even if she was fine, that doesn't give you license to treat
Amen.
people like
Amen.
crap.
But I associate. We can associate probably how people perceive themselves.
Yeah.
Visually speaking, to kind of how they behave.
Yeah.
The other part of this conversation is that outside of this moment, particularly for me, I got a lot of real friends and brothers who are absolutely in the world who are trying to do better.
Yes.
Who are more aware of themselves than they ever have. They understand how they show up, and I'm weird. Your husband being one of them. We got a little text chain where we are. You see some of that checking kind of going on, bro. What is this? What is that type of thing? But it's ultimately a new awareness that's happening, and it's causing some unlearning in a lot of areas. And I don't know if we, own that part of kind of our system, at least from like black men, American, man, this cultural, it shows up for different cultures,
yes.
I'm sure, in different ways. But the point is that when I think about how we celebrate, getting numbers at the club, or being out, being like how many, really objectifying, women as a whole, and how we now start to operate within it and hold each other accountable, now having daughters and now having wives and people that we care about. It looks a little bit different now for us today as we talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Now we feel crazy.
Yeah.
Like what is this type of thing? But women have some responsibility in it too, though, right?
Absolutely.
As we talk about it, because
Absolutely.
we're trying to date you guys and we're not doing, or behaving in a way that's maybe as masculine or whatever, and or maybe not to your liking. What's been said? Hey, well, that's gay, or that's this behavior or that behavior, or being too emotional.
Right.
So now we being shunned for actually speaking up for ourselves,
right,
and saying and trying to protect,
yeah,
our psychology in this. So there's some things that we've got to normalize within ourselves as a male responsibility. True. Part of it. But we do, and we could absolutely use the help of women, to help us get there.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like you said, there's just all kinds of different experiences and things that people bring into their relationship, whether it be just friendly or romantic. Like for me, like I said, I grew up in a West Indian household. Man is the head of the household. Typically, you serve your man, so to speak. I have a lot of that I still carry with me, from my husband. And I do those things not out of obligation, but because I want to do those things. I want him to be happy, and if he's happy, I'm happy. It's the happy spouse, happy house, not happy wife, happy life.
Come on,
right?
come on.
Right. It's that dynamic. So I really try hard, right, and try to be respectful. But one thing I did learn very early on, and this was actually a lesson from one of my brothers, is that you have to give respect in order to get respect. And he was saying that not necessarily for me to be like trying to be respectful of other people.
Right.
Is for me to demand respect in the rooms and the spaces that I go in. And if somebody's not giving it to me, that means they haven't earned mine. And vice versa. If I'm not respectful, why would I expect them to respect me?
Right.
So I lay that piece down to say we're talking about women and how they can help. If you're going around talking about like your opinion doesn't matter and just you need to buy me things, this is transactional.
Right.
What do you think is going to get reciprocated to you? Right? You're going to constantly be objectified and not respected in turn. big decisions that need to happen in his life. He's going to be like, you don't matter because you don't think I matter, right? Right. So you're not going to bring them in along for that journey, the things that are important that shape your life. They're not living their lives to be better for you. They're living their lives to be better for themselves. And then you continue to do that for you. You both are living in silos, just selfish. So I think like we need to think in terms of just more of that reciprocity, that reciprocal respect for each other, and how are we contributing to building each other up, making me want to be a better version of myself so that it makes you happy. And then if you're happy, then I'll be happy.
So, Rocky, you allude to this, but how do we get here, though? Like,
how
socially do we get here?
There's a lot of socioeconomic factors. We can go on forever. We can go way back to like welfare and getting the black man out the house.
But it feels very like right now, though. Right now,
because it's systemic. It's still here.
Conflict, and we're not getting along. The whole reciprocal piece, is something that sounds, crazy to a lot of women. Like, what do you mean reciprocate? No, that means take care of each other. That means support each other.